not a mistake to see Kyler Murray at number 19 on the Chris Sims top 40 countdown. How the mighty have fallen, but that's what happens when you have a torn ACL and
Right.
you've rest and you're just not the guy that you once were. And there's plenty of great quarterbacks in today's NFL. Somebody's got to be number 19, and number 19 is currently a guy that we may not see play before November 19th.
And that's a big part of why he's 19. His talent is greater than that. We know that. He's got some really special attributes about him. So there's no doubt there. An incredible talent that we have serious questions about leadership and ceiling versus top NFL defenses. That was kind of my headline or thesis statement about Kyler Murray there, Mike. Yeah, his running is a huge part of his game, and he's not going to be the same, to start the year, let alone we don't know, how healthy he will be when he does get out there. And then when you break it down into, the other areas and go, well, yeah, okay, maybe he's not going to be able to run as well, and there's that injury. And then you get into some of the negatives. A lot of the negatives are in the pocket, not throwing the ball as accurate as he did early on in his career. He definitely missed the target. Doesn't see people over the middle of the field at a lot of times. Makes, not a lot of big-time throws with the pocket collapsing and people around him. So those are the negatives there. Now, we're still talking about a guy with great arm, definitely. Game-changing speed once he gets outside the pocket. And, quick release. There's a lot of skills here to work with, but there's some questions certainly with Kyler Murray and where he's at in his career right now.
He's gone from 7 in 2021 to 12 in 22, all the way down to number 19. Career worst last year with record 3 and 8 yards per attempt, 6 per 1 yards per completion, 9.1 passer rating, 87.2. There was a time when 87.2 was pretty good.
Right.
Nowadays, 87.2.
It ain't good.
Good at all. So, the bottom line is he's got some work to do to get back where he's going to be. And hey, this whole Cardinals vibe right now, and if they're as bad as we think they're going to be, and they're in position to get Caleb Williams, and if he'll actually go play for them, that's an item that I wrote this morning, and I'm sure we'll get the fans stirred up because he may decide, I'm not playing for them. I'll stay at USC and make NIL money for another year. Or I'll just enter the draft and sit out a year and not play. I'll spend the money that I made. I'm not playing for the Cardinals. But if he does, end of the road for Kyler Murray, and maybe he's getting to the point where that's what he wants. Maybe he'd like to go play somewhere else. I don't know how much of that I could take in Arizona before I decide I want to go to a place where I'm actually going to win games. Point that Peter King made when he got drafted. This guy had lost 3 games in his entire football career, high school and college. And now 3 games is just a month of losses for the Arizona Cardinals. So it's just a weird vibe for him right now. And you'll wonder when he gets healthy again and he gets to the other side of this season, how he's going to feel about the Cardinals, and how the Cardinals feel about him. But he's sinking. We'll see if he can move his way back up a little bit this year.
Yeah, and you said it right, Mike. You hit on one of the things that certainly leads him where he is too. Is hey, being a leader, your effect on the football team, the belief you give the team, the body language you give the team. I think all that plays into it, right? And I think he's probably been a little over scrutinized in that department. But also, as we know, where there's smoke, there's fire. We hear it from too many people. So, yeah, that part of him's still a little bit of a question mark. Like I said, the play on the field, there's a lot of great skills, and the game's wide open and fun. Hey, man, Kyler Murray be one of those guys you'd go, he's up there with the best of them then in that type of game. But where I really question, and you and I have had this conversation a lot, and you and I both know this is why some teams would never have Kyler Murray as their quarterback, is can he win tough December, January games, 17-14, 20-17? It's not an easy game. It's not wide open. We can't throw screens and be in the shotgun. We're going to have to stand in the pocket, and they are good at containing me in there, and I'm going to have to make throws and do all of that. Those are the questions I got about Kyler Murray. I do. Again, that's where he does leave plays on the field, whether he can't see down the middle of the field at times, or if something flashes in front of his face, he can be quick to run, and then you go, ooh, man, you didn't need to. You could have just stepped to the right and stayed in throwing position, and Marquise Hollywood Brown's going to be open for a 20-yard gain. But instead, we look to run or do something else there too, and those are some of the negatives of the game. Still a lot to like. The injury, the leadership, the play in the pocket still needs to be improved for me and Kyler Murray's game.
And look, I think that the the problem that has not been resolved, that will not go away, is the clause we saw last year in his contract, the
Right.
homework.
Yeah. Right.
The team painted him with a negative brush, and I just don't think that that's something that ever gets better. And I think it becomes one of those nagging reasons when it's time for people to make business decisions that motivates them in a certain direction. Because if I'm Kyler Murray, I can't get past that. Macy's up and she's
What up,
barking.
Macy?
I can't get past the fact that they made me look bad to everyone by creating this impression that I don't work hard enough. I can't get past it. And if this team stinks right now, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm going to try to go to a place where they appreciate me,
Yep.
they celebrate me, and they don't suck.
No doubt. I mean, he should be disappointed by that, but at the same time, we have more than that, right? Too, you and I knew. We heard from people, that had played there, were part of that part of that organization who told us stuff about Kyler Murray. We've heard it from Patrick Peterson. Right, we heard that. You heard I think it was Kelvin Beachum here recently, where hey, he's going to be okay, but he's still got. I'm paraphrasing some growing to go or maturity, whatever it was there. So I think, hey, again, how real is that? I don't know, but it's obviously somewhat real that it continues to come up.
But there's a way to handle it that doesn't include putting this clause in a contract.
That's right.
Out about becomes the biggest story
Definitely.
at a slow time in the NFL and makes him look like something that we didn't already believe he was. It's one thing to have these whispers making their way around the NFL grapevine. It's another thing for the team to pull the sheet off of this clause that tells the world we think our quarterback's lazy. We think our quarterback plays video games too much, or maybe he's doing Legos. I don't know, but he wasn't studying.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.